Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right, so welcome back to part 3 of my mix breakdown from my most recent Bogren Digital contest entry, which at this point the winners were announced, and I actually won. Pretty shocking. I don't win anything, so that was a very, very pleasant surprise. But this is today we're going to be talking about toms, overheads, and rooms. So again, drums can be they can be a bit much, be a bit long-winded, so we're not going to waste any time. We're going to hop right into Logic. We're going to get started. All right, let's check it out. All right, so here we are. We're back in our Logic session. We're talking about toms, overheads, and rooms. Okay, so let's see. The Crim Drums has 5 toms, and they're going straight to the drum bus over here. I didn't do a separate tom bus. And they're all set up relatively the same, right? Again, I didn't use any tape machines on this mix. So let's start with tom 1. Let me solo a little section here. These couple measures. And let's start going through, okay? Let me go ahead and solo it. So first up, we've got our trimmer, which isn't doing anything. So you can see it's not really anywhere near going into the red, yeah? We've got our drum gate that's set up the exact same way that the kick and the snare were, right? It is sidechained to the T1 key spike, the Tom 1 key spike. And again, key spikes is another video I will definitely shoot and put out for you guys. So let's turn these off. Let me show you what the gate's doing. And again, these are programmed drums, so as you can see, there's really, it's almost like having stripped tom tracks, right? But it's the feel of the gate that I kind of still like. Again, our SSL 4K channel strip, we're looking at a high pass or low cut, 116. We boosted a dB and a half of 8K. We cut some mud out at 1.4. Cut some mud out at 820, and then we're doing our compressor trick, which again, I was moving really fast. I didn't even have the release all the way. So let's look at what this is doing. It's not a ton of difference. The compressor. Yeah, so you get a lot more presence with that compressor. And then here's the big reason why I EQ the toms individually and not do it as a bus is because every tom, right, just to the right of the fundamental frequency, you'll see that that's generally the mud section, right? That's where the nasty stuff is that you can get rid of. The same with the kick, and you can really bring out the tone of the tom. Just cutting out that frequency right there. All right, so that's our tom 1. And we are sending, let's see, at negative 12 decibels to, what was that, 27? Bus 27, which is our reverb. Again, I chose to use the long wooden room from the Verb Suite Classics. So it's being sent there at negative 12 dB. And we brought the fader down 4 dB, so we're hitting around negative 9. All right, let's move on to tom 2. And you're going to see the setup is basically the same, right? Trimmer's doing nothing. I didn't need to pull it back. All right. Turn these off again. All right. Cool. Again, we're using the same drum gate. Sidechain to the tom 2 key spike. All right. Our SSL 4KE, we did a low cut at 96. We boosted about a dB and a half of 8K. We cut from 2100 some mud. We cut from 960 some mud. And then we're doing our SSL compressor trick again, right? All right, so that's doing a good bit to bring that tom out. And then our Pro Q3, again, we're cutting the mud from this tom specifically. All right, so there you can hear what I was trying to get rid of, right? All right, now let's hear Tom 1 and Tom 2 together. All right, cool. All right, let's move on to Tom 3. And let's move our, boom, here we go. Let's go here, solo this. All right, let's look at our trimmer. See, this one, we had to do a bit of work, about 2.5 decibels we had to pull off. It's pretty hefty. All right. Drum gate, yet again. We are side chained to the Tom 3 key spike. Okay. Our SSL 4KE. Yeah, that one sounded thunderous. All right, so we've got a low cut at 5455. We cut some mud from around 2.5K, cut some mud from around 740, and we got our compressor trick going over here, right? Turn them off. Yeah, that compressor slaps on toms. All right, and then our Pro Q3, again, we're cutting the mud from that specific area in this specific tom. Cleans it up. All right, cool. All right, and we brought that one down. I'm letting this one be a little bit bigger, right? All right, so let's hear toms 1, 2, and 3 together. Nice. I think they sound great. All right, tom number 4. Here we go. We got some hits over here. Cool. Let me solo this one for you. Mix rack again, we're pulling about 3 dB out. Turn our other stuff off for you. So in Jens Bogren's actual drum sample pack, he has a tom sample called Helms Deep, and this one's there too, I think. Big hit, nice. All right, Pro MB, drum gate again, Tom 4 key spike. The big thing with these lower toms is that you watch the release on the low end, and so it's a little bit faster, so you get that a natural fade, but control of the low end bloom, right? SSL 4KE. I actually cut some top end out. All right, let's check this out. Big hits. Okay. Turn the dynamics off individually from the EQ. All right. So I pulled, did a high cut, right, at about 10.3K. Did a low cut about 45, boosted some 8K. We took out about 4 dB at 750, another 4.5 dB around 590. So trying to clean up some of the mud here. Let me turn that off. Well, it's off. Let me turn it back on. All right, bringing a little life to it. All right, let's hear the dynamics. Actually, no, I didn't even use the dynamics on this one. Probably should have. There's probably a reason at the time. Not sure what it was. Pro Q3 did 2 cuts on this one, so we did a bunch of cutting in this tom. So let me turn it off, turn it back on. See, boosting that top, and we boosted a little more of that clicky. Let me show you guys real quick. Since I didn't, for some reason, do it in the mix on this tom, let's look at doing the compression in real time, okay? All right, so let's check it out. Threshold, take it all the way up, right? Release, I'm going to bring it all the way down, and then I'm going to ride the ratio up until I'm getting about 3 dB of compression. All right, boom. All right, and then we're going to take this, pull the trim back. Oh, yeah. So that's how you would do that. Let's see. All right, let me see. Yeah, let's hear toms 1, 2, 3, and 4 all together. Sound great. All right, last one. Let's check out tom number 5. You see, I got some big hits. Right here we go. All right. Our trimmer doing nothing. No need for it. It's in a good place gain staging wise. Probably be drum gate again. We are sidechained to the tom 5 key spike. Let's get that nice natural fade out. SSL, channel strip. Doing a low cut at 70, a little bump at 8K, a little cut at 720, and then our dynamics. Yeah. That compressor is where it's at. And then our Pro Q3, again, just doing our cut for this drum specifically. So it's normally, you'll see a spike just to the right of the fundamental. Like, here's your fundamental. And then just to the right, you'll normally see a big spike that's almost as big, and sometimes it's bigger than the fundamental and taking it over. And that's what we're looking to cut out so that we can hear the actual tone of that drum. So let's see see if I got an all 5 tom roll in this one. It looks like I do. All right, so let's see. It starts here. Nice. Yeah, great sounding toms. Awesome. Okay, let's move on to our overheads. So a lot of times if it's more in-depth mix, right? I'll take my hi-hats, my external hats, and my ride and my overheads, and I'll send them all to a cymbal bus. And then that cymbal bus will go to the drum bus. But here, all I'm doing is taking all of these and sending them straight to the drum bus over here. And I'm sending a bit of them to the reverb. All the toms are going to the reverb at -12, and then all the cymbals are going at -18. So let's check out some hi-hat stuff. Let's see. All right, cool. Hear what the hi-hats are sounding like. Oh, guess it would help if I turned the loop off, wouldn't it? All right, cool. They sound like hi-hats, right? Right. All right, we did not use the ozone here, which the ozone, again, I'm just using it to cut the top end out. I'll show you what I would normally do, though, here in just a second. All right, so trimmer, we're doing nothing with it. No need. Hi-hats aren't very loud. My SSL, I don't think we're doing anything with it. It's just there for saturation again. Just part of the template, how I set stuff up. The ozone. All right, so if I were using this, I put it on the rock setting because, again, it's the closest thing they have to metal. And then I just want it to cut, but I only want it to cut in the highs. So here's how I would use it. And you can use that just to tame those high-end frequencies. I did not use it in this mix. I used the Freak Sniper. I feel like the Freak Sniper just targets specific frequencies, and you still get that high-end sheen out of cymbals and things. But it just knocks that harshness back enough. All right, so that's all for hi-hats. We pulled it down 3 dB. So what I'm looking for is somewhere in the -24, -21 range. And if it's a hi-hat track that has snare in it, right, we'll definitely try to compress some of that snare away, but I'm looking for those snare hits to be somewhere between -18 and -15. External hats, there were none in this one. Our ride. Cool. Let's check it out. Ringy, right? Now let's pull this stuff off. So obviously we don't need to trim anything, right? The SSL is doing absolutely nothing. It's just there going through it, creating that saturation. And then here's what we're looking for. See, it's like it tames the harsh frequencies and then lets more of the sheen come through. I like it. And the ride, again, in that same general area, anywhere between -24, -21, up to -18. Anywhere in that general area, we're good. All right, so now we're into our main overheads here. Just... As you can see, I'm right here at the -24 to -21 range. All right, so let's turn this off and see where we're at. Trimmer's doing nothing, no need. Let's look at the level. Perfectly fine. All right, our SSL, we're actually boosting some just under 10K. Got a low cut at about 200. And that was it. A lot of times, I like the way 10K sounds in cymbals. I know on the drum bus we've got some 12K. I think pushing 10 gives us a nice high end. Here I am using our ozone stabilizer. All right, so actually let me go back to the SSL. Yeah, I think that cut at 200 in conjunction with the boost at 10K does wonders. All right, now let's check out our ozone stabilizer. All right, just helps out a bit. And then again with our Freak Sniper, just cutting these frequencies. And it's really so once the cymbals get really overbearing, that pops in. All right, cool. All right, the last thing we got to talk about here. I'm sorry. All of my cymbals are going to the reverb at -18. -18, right? So if we're listening to this reverb, it's bus 27. So it's mostly snare. All right. So our rooms, I like those to be down around like -24 usually. All right, cool. Let's check all this out. All right, trimmer's doing nothing. See what the level's at. We're good. Level's good. All right, our SSL channel strip. All right, so we're cutting everything below 100. I'm actually cutting the 8K here because I don't want the cymbals to be washy and overpowering. I'm cutting some 780 out, cutting some 410 out. So let's listen to that. And then we got our compressor working a little differently on the rooms, right? But we'll get to that. Hang on. Darken them a little bit. Now let's check out the dynamics. See, on those tom hits, we're going up. We're getting into the 10 decibel reduction range. I'm smashing these, right? So my threshold is all the way, right? The release is halfway because I don't want it to let it go. I want it to hang on to these rooms and really squash them. And we're at a 12, basically, what's this, 12.2 to 1 ratio. So we're smashing them. We're crushing these drums. Right? And then here's a little secret sauce trick from Nolly again. Right? We're going to use a transient shaper. I'm pulling the attack of the rooms back by about 10%. And then I'm increasing the sustain by about 10%, right? Let's check this out. What I'm trying to do with this is smear the image of the rooms and make it actually sound more like a room, like kind of like a bigger room. And then we're sending some of that reverb, -24 decibels. Again, it's going here to our room verb with the long wooden room. and the reverb is being sent straight out to the 2 bus because there's multiple things going to it. And then again, the toms, all of the cymbals and the rooms are going directly to our drum bus, which, as a reminder, sounds this way. All right, so there you go. All right. That is toms, cymbals, and rooms. Done. Just that quick. All right. I appreciate you guys tuning in to part 3 of this mix breakdown. Next one, we're going to tackle, try to do bass and guitar all in one video. Just knock it out and just make this a 4-part series, and you guys can blast through it, and hopefully it will help you in your mixing and some of the decisions you're making. And if you like the video, obviously give it the thumbs up. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. There will be a link tree in the bio if you want to check out any of my other social medias, my Bandcamp, or listen to any of my music. That would be very cool. Again, this entry was actually a winning entry. So if you want to check it out, you can check it out on my YouTube, my social medias, or the Bogren Digital channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.